Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, guys. So I just wanted to make a quick follow-up to the video I just did, which was a review of the discussion between Daniel Haqiqatju and Ridwan, also known as the Apostate Prophet. I wanted to just ask Ridwan a simple question. I saw your live stream after the debate, something called a video called the dishonesty of Daniel Haqiqatju, in which you were complaining about the way that Muslims were treating you, that Muslims were leaving nasty comments, they were mocking you, that Daniel himself was mocking you, was being disrespectful, rude, and mean-spirited, and that from the Muslim side there's a very mean spirit towards you. And you know what, yeah, I agree, that's not nice to feel, that people are being vicious and mean-spirited towards you. Now, my question to you though is, why is it that you feel that you can be mean-spirited and mocking and hateful towards the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, towards Allah, towards Islam, towards Muslims, and to make your points? I'm not saying you don't have intellectual criticisms and problems with Islam, you definitely do, but you couch those points within a wider framework of very mean-spirited mocking, okay? And you're aware of this, right? You're aware that you're riling a mob basically against Muslims. You're aware of how it makes Muslims feel when you mock the Prophet, right? Which again, this isn't your intellectual criticisms. You're not simply coming to say, look, I have an issue with the Prophet's marriage to Aisha. It is immoral for this, and this reason. To make your point, get in and get out. Something like, let's say, a respectful atheist like Cosmic Skeptic does. Cosmic Skeptic comes, he makes his intellectual point, he tries to be as respectful as possible, he gets in and he gets out, right? But that's not what you do. You do this and you were complaining also about David Wood getting a similar kind of treatment, just insults being thrown at him. But that's what he's doing himself. Surely you're aware of this. Surely you're aware that Muslims would rather be personally insulted. Like if somebody gave me the option right now to stand on a street corner and get insulted for 5 hours straight, for a day, for a week, for a year, to have somebody say all the nastiest things about me, about my mother, about whatever, that not just me, but virtually every Muslim would rather that happen to them than to hear a single insult of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, you're aware of this. You're aware of how strongly we feel about our Prophet, and not just the Prophet Muhammad, but really all prophets. It boils our blood even to see Nabi Isa alayhi salam mocked. Okay, so you're aware of this, yet you make mean-spirited critiques. You mock more really than you provide intellectual, attacks or problems, right? Your main thing is mocking. Your main thing is being mean-spirited. Your main thing is insulting, and far more insulting than any kind of personal attack that a Muslim could receive. You're not a respectful atheist, and yet when Muslims reciprocate in kind, you have a complaint. So it seems a classic case of you can dish some, but you can't take some. And I'm just wondering, my question for you is this, why is it that you think that you can mock, but then you have an issue with being mocked? I don't understand that. I mean, if you're gonna be this mean-spirited and this uncharitable to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then you should be able to take some too. And last thing is, actually, I personally don't like it when Muslims are mocking and disrespectful towards you. I don't like it. But what I'm trying to say is that you're inviting that by the way that you're acting. So what I would like to invite you to do is to reform the way in which you criticize Islam. You want to keep criticizing Islam, you think it's wrong, okay. But I would invite you to take a more respectful approach, right? And only then, when you have a history of having a respectful approach, would I say that you earn the right to complain about Muslims who are not reciprocating in kind. And I would like to see that. I would like to see respectful discussion, because I feel like level-headedness is more, helps us to reach the truth, right? When emotions get involved, when mocking gets involved, when belittlement gets involved, when tribalism gets involved, that's going to move us in the opposite direction. And so what I would encourage you, Ridwan, is if you're feeling, the heat, to perhaps reflect on how you've contributed to that, and to maybe move away from the way that you've been doing things towards a more respectful way, and then hopefully we can have more level-headed discussions in which just the points are brought up without having to have things degenerate to this level. Okay, that was basically it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.